In this video, I want to share with you another foundational movement, the floor transfer. Getting on and off the floor is an essential functional skill, but often this skill is ignored and eventually lost as we age. You'll be miles ahead in terms of falls prevention and preparedness if you are intentional about keeping or regaining your ability to get on and off the floor, no matter what your age. If you have arthritis or knee replacements, you may have been told that you shouldn't kneel, but generally speaking, kneeling will not harm your knees, and in fact, exposing them to a little bit of kneeling at a time can help to desensitize them. You can always use a softer surface or a pillow to support your knees when you're kneeling. And if you have painful wrists, try placing your fists on the floor rather than your palms, as that will help to keep a neutral position in your wrists and mitigate some of the discomfort. And finally, if you have osteoporosis or osteopenia, the key is to protect your back while safely getting on and off the floor. And that means that we're going to be using our hip hinge to get in and out of the movement rather than curving our spine. All right, so here's the how-to. Remember, we're going to be keeping our tummy tight throughout the movement and our back as straight as we can while we transition in and out of the position. All right, so getting onto the floor, there's a few different options, but here's one that I like. So tummy's tight, we're going to hinge at our hips, and we're going to be using a sturdy surface like a stool, a coffee table, or a sturdy chair. You're going to place your hands just on the chair or the stool or the coffee table, hinging at your hip, tummy is tight. You can step back with one foot, lower yourself onto one knee, and then bring your other knee back. This is a high kneeling position. Tummy stays tight. Now from here, you can lower yourself onto your hands and your knees. So your hands are going to be directly under your shoulders, or you can use your fists as I described earlier. Now, two options to get all the way down onto the floor. You may want to just lower yourself down from here. So you just step your knees back slightly and lower yourself onto your forearms and then onto your belly. All right, that's one option. And then to get out of this position, you simply press through your elbows and forearms as you move your buttocks towards your heels, getting back into that hands and knees position. Now, the other option is to get into this side seated position like so. Lower yourself down onto your elbow and forearm into the side lying position all the way down, and then from here you can roll onto your back and then you're safely on the floor. To get out of this position, we just reverse. We turn or roll onto our side and then we press up through our hands, our elbows, forearms, side seated position, and then you can just carefully turn onto your hands and knees, tummy stays tight, and then finding that supportive surface to step back out. One foot comes forward, and then you're going to press up. You can press through your thigh or through the surface, and then onto both feet. Again, watching your back is straight and you're hinging, and then standing tall from your hips. Now, a simple reminder that I'd like to show you is when you are on the floor, it's important if you're in this position that you don't just simply roll onto your back or back into the seated position like so, because that puts a lot of extra strain and stress on your spine, and especially if you have osteoporosis or osteopenia, we really want to be cautious and mitigate the potential of any injury to your spine. So I always recommend you go from a side seated and then side lying position, rolling onto your back safely, or from the hands and knees position, lowering yourself down onto your belly from there, okay? Now, I hope this was helpful. This is such an essential and important foundational exercise. You will see this throughout our Standing Strong program. We will eventually progress to getting on and off the floor, but it's something I hope you practice, and I look forward to seeing you soon.